I received an email from boss while Jack was out of the office for about 20 minutes. It was a request from Steve, a client, asking for file XYZ. The catch? Steve's phone was having trouble receiving emails, but he could get the file via Facebook message. I called boss. "Hey, I just got the email you forwarded. Do you need me to send file XYZ? Yes, can you send files on Facebook? Yes, but I'll have to use the computer Jack's been using. It's the only one that can access Facebook. Right, I'll meet you in my wife's office. I hung up and launched a bat file on my desktop. It ran its commands and deleted itself as I walked away. When I arrived at boss's wife's office, I smiled at them both before heading to the computer. Give me a second to bring up Facebook. I turned the laptop around, and boss's wife reached over to move the mouse. The screen flared to life. Boss stared. His wife gasped. A soft moan, followed by the sound of a hoarse neighing, emanated from the laptop. She frantically closed the video window, revealing a second window underneath it, a Bing search for best places to buy weed near me. She closed that one too, exposing a BuzzFeed article titled, 10 Signs You're Over Your Job. As she slammed the laptop shut, boss shook his head, red and trembling with anger. How was that I thought who was using this computer? He roared. Boss's wife shook her head. Jack was using it about a half hour ago. Just then, Jack appeared in the doorway, carry-out bag in hand. Boss's back was to him. That kind of thing should be blocked, he yelled, pointing at the laptop. I nodded. I agreed. Jack said he needed to use the unrestricted computer for some important projects. That's why he asked you to retrieve the key to my desk last week, right? I gestured toward the door, and boss finally saw Jack. Jack blinked at boss, then looked at me, then back at the computer. I could see the realization dawning on him. Why, you did something to my computer, didn't you? He demanded. Of course I had. I copied a hidden batch file onto Jack's desktop from a USB drive when I fixed his computer the other day. This file would send me his browsing history without alerting him. All it needed was a remote command, which I'd set off from my own computer. The file would delete itself after launching 3 incriminating web pages. Boss's wife chimed in, slightly more computer savvy than her husband. No, Clickety didn't do anything. He just exited the screensaver. Whatever was there must have been what you were, working on when you rushed out for lunch. She glared at Jack and then addressed boss. He must have forgotten to close out the evidence of his blatant misuse of company property. I shook my head solemnly. And I trusted you with this unrestricted computer, Jack. I even gave you your own email address for the company because I thought you'd be an asset. Clearly, I was wrong. I tried my best to sound hurt. Boss's wife handed me the laptop. Jack, I'm rather upset that you'd do something like this. I hired you as a favor to your mother, and you can be certain she'll hear about this. Now go home. Jack stood there, shaking. He probably had an inkling of what I'd done, but he had no way to prove it. But, he pointed at me wordlessly. Get out, boss yelled. Jack burst into tears and ran from the room. Now, as I write this, it's been 4 weeks since Jack was terminated. I patched the security hole from Spotify, and the interns are listening to music again. I didn't give the spare desk key back to the office manager. As for Jack, I saw him the other day when he stopped by with his mother. He knocked on my door. Clickety? I looked up and narrowed my eyes. What? I want to say I'm sorry for saying that stuff and acting like I did. I blinked. And, now that I've apologized, I was hoping you could tell my mom that I didn't really look up any of that stuff. You know you're the one who did it. Not me, I mean. He took a breath. I mean, I've learned my lesson, so... Seriously? Come on, Clickety, she's made me get another job, and she cut my allowance. Come on. He looked at me pleadingly. I almost felt sorry for him. Almost. Actually, not even almost. I shook my head and went back to typing. Jack continued standing there, and after a few long moments I looked at him. You can go now. And then he was gone.